Scorpio, you didn't find this video by chance. You were led here by forces operating far beyond your conscious mind's grasp. Right now, as your eyes read these words, something extraordinary is happening within your energy field. Something that only happens once every 100 years. Something that selects just one specific person out of millions to carry a responsibility that will redefine not only your existence, but also your impact on the world around you. You were chosen, not because you asked for it, not because you were searching, but because there is within you a unique ability that the universe needs to activate at this specific moment in history. For years, you felt different from others, that you carried something heavy within you, something you couldn't fully explain. You always knew you had a greater purpose, but you could never clearly define it. Today, you will discover that this feeling wasn't imagination or arrogance. It was a deep knowing, recognizing your true nature. What I'm about to reveal will shake every foundation of the reality you've built around yourself. It will show you that everything you've experienced so far has been preparation for this specific moment, when you finally gain access to the power you've always carried dormant within you. This power chooses a new vessel every 100 years, someone with the psychological and spiritual structure to not only carry this force, but also channel it in a way that benefits collective evolution. Can you sense that there's something within you that's never been fully activated, something waiting for permission to emerge in its full potential? Scorpio, throughout your life you've wondered why you've always been drawn to the deepest mysteries of existence. Why, when others were content with superficial explanations, you felt compelled to dig deeper. Why situations that made others comfortable caused you an inexplicable unease. Why you've always been able to see through the masks people wear, detect lies that others missed, sense undercurrents of truth that most don't even suspect exist. This wasn't just a personality trait, it was training. Preparation for this moment when you will gain access to levels of perception that completely transcend ordinary human experience. Over the next few days, you will begin to notice that your ability to read situations, people, and energies will dramatically intensify. It will no longer be just heightened intuition. It will be direct knowledge, as if information were downloaded directly into your consciousness without going through normal reasoning processes. But here's what no one tells you about being chosen by the universe. It comes with a weight most people couldn't bear. It comes with the responsibility of seeing truths others prefer to ignore. It comes with the obligation to act on knowledge you can't fully share because others don't have the framework to understand it. Are you prepared to carry secrets that could destroy the peace of mind of the people you love? Over the past week, you've probably begun experiencing subtle shifts in how you perceive the reality around you. Moments where you can sense people's hidden motivations before they even speak. Moments where you know exactly what's going to happen in a situation before events unfold. Feelings of being connected to an invisible web of information that permeates everything. These aren't hallucinations or wishful thinking. It's your new ability gradually activating. The universe doesn't hand over total power all at once. It tests your ability to handle smaller doses before granting full access, and you've passed the tests. Every time you trusted your intuition, even when it contradicted logic, every time you acted based on a deep understanding you couldn't rationally explain, every time you chose the difficult truth over the comfortable lie. Scorpio, what only one in each generation receives is the ability to see through the veil that separates the visible and invisible dimensions of reality. You are becoming a bridge between worlds, someone who can access information that exists beyond the reach of ordinary perception. This ability is not granted for personal satisfaction or individual advantage. It is given so that you can serve as a guardian of important truths and a guide for those ready to awaken. With this new level of insight comes the responsibility to use this knowledge wisely. You'll learn things about people that they don't know about themselves. You'll be able to spot destructive patterns before they fully manifest. You'll perceive opportunities and dangers that remain invisible to others. The temptation will be to use this knowledge for personal gain, but true power comes from using it to serve the greater good. In the coming years, you'll find that people begin to be naturally drawn to you when they're going through crises or profound transformations. Not because you seek that role, but because they instinctively sense that you have access to wisdom that can help them. You'll become a beacon for lost souls, a mirror for those who seek to see their own deepest truths. But this role will also require you to develop a level of emotional detachment that can be challenging for someone who feels everything as intensely as you do. You'll need to learn to help without getting too involved, to see others' pain without absorbing it, to share wisdom without trying to control how it's received or applied. Are you prepared to love humanity unconditionally, even when you clearly see all its shadows and contradictions? The power being activated within you doesn't follow the normal rules of cause and effect. It's not something you can study in books or learn through techniques. It's a capacity that emerges from your deepest essence when you reach a specific level of inner purification and alignment with higher purposes. You've gone through experiences that burned away everything false within you, that forced you to find your innermost truth, that taught you to distinguish between what is essential and what is superfluous. This preparation was necessary because the power you are receiving can easily be corrupted if the person carrying it is still operating from ego or petty personal motivations. But you have been tested by fire and emerged purified. Your intentions have been refined until only the highest remain. Your capacity for love has been expanded to include even those who have hurt you in the past. Scorpio, once every 100 years, the universe needs to strategically position someone like you, someone who can operate at the depths of human consciousness, to serve as a catalyst during periods of collective transformation. We are living through one of those periods now. Humanity is undergoing a profound metamorphosis, and people like you are needed to help others navigate this transformation without getting lost in the process. You will discover that you have the ability to accelerate the evolution of others simply by being in their presence. Your energy will act as a mirror, reflecting back to them everything they've been avoiding about themselves. Some will feel extremely uncomfortable in your presence because you'll trigger self-discovery processes they're not ready to face. Others will feel profoundly relieved because they've finally found someone who can see and accept their shadows without judgment. The burden of being chosen also includes carrying knowledge about the collective future that you cannot share openly. You will begin to perceive social patterns and trends that will manifest years ahead. You will sense shifts in the collective consciousness before they become apparent to society at large. This early perception can be isolating because you will often live a few steps ahead of the reality most people experience. But remember, you weren't chosen to carry this knowledge alone forever. You were chosen to serve as a bridge, helping others transition to higher levels of consciousness when they're ready. Your role is to plant seeds of awakening that will germinate at the right time for each person. Some of these seeds may take years to sprout, but all will eventually blossom. The most transformative aspect of what is happening to you is that it will completely redefine your relationship with mortality and meaning. You will stop seeing life as an isolated, individual experience and begin to perceive it as part of a much larger pattern that extends across time and space. You will understand that your current existence is just one chapter in a much larger story, and that the role you are now taking on has consequences that extend far beyond your present life. This expanded perspective can be both liberating and frightening. Liberating because you'll stop worrying about small problems and focus on what really matters. Frightening because you'll realize the magnitude of the responsibility you're taking on. But you were prepared for this. Every pain you've faced, every transformation you've experienced, every moment where you had to choose between growing or remaining small has equipped you for this moment. Scorpio, in the coming days, you'll begin to notice that your presence affects people more intensely than before. Casual conversations will turn into deep discussions about the meaning of life. People will share secrets with you that they've never told anyone else. Situations will reveal themselves to you in ways that remain hidden to others. This is because your energy is changing quality. You're becoming a magnet for hidden truths and profound transformations. During this activation process, you may experience moments of emotional overload. This is natural. When someone accesses deeper levels of perception, it can initially be difficult to filter and process all the information that begins to flow. But over time, you will develop the ability to regulate this input according to your processing capacity. You will learn to open and close your sensitivity as needed. The most important thing is not to resist what's happening. Don't try to rationalize or logically explain the changes you're experiencing. Allow the process to unfold naturally, even when you feel disoriented or overwhelmed. Remember that you were specifically chosen because you have the inner strength to undergo this transformation and emerge not only intact, but expanded. The role you're taking on isn't just about you. It's about all the people your newfound ability will impact in the years to come. Each person you help awaken will in turn help others awaken as well. You're becoming the first link in a chain of transformation that will span generations. It's an immense responsibility, but also an extraordinary privilege. When you finally fully integrate this new level of capacity, you'll look back and realize that your entire life has been a preparation for this moment. Every difficult experience that forced you to develop resilience. Every moment of solitude that taught you to find strength within yourself. Every time you had to face your own shadows and emerge transformed. All of this was preparing you to carry a light that few humans have the strength to sustain. Scorpio, the universe doesn't choose randomly. It deeply evaluates each soul's capabilities before entrusting such important responsibilities. You have been observed, tested, and approved through multiple lifetimes. Your soul bears the imprint of experiences that transcend this current life, experiences that have qualified you to receive what is being activated now. The choice wasn't based solely on your strength or courage, though both are remarkable. It was based primarily on your ability to transform pain into wisdom, to find light in the darkest situations, to love unconditionally, even when deeply wounded. These qualities are rare and precious. They are exactly what the universe needs at this historic moment. Over the next few weeks, as your new level of capacity fully establishes itself, you may experience moments of isolation or feeling like no one truly understands what you're going through. This is temporary. As you become more comfortable with your new abilities, you'll naturally attract others who operate on similar frequencies. You'll discover that there's an invisible community of human beings who carry similar responsibilities, and that you'll recognize each other even without words. The full activation will bring clarity to many situations in your life that previously seemed confusing or meaningless. You'll understand why certain people came and went from your life at specific times, why you went through certain experiences that at the time seemed unnecessarily difficult, why you've always felt drawn to the deeper and more mysterious aspects of existence. It was all part of a much larger plan to prepare you to take on this unique role. The power being activated within you is not like the powers described in fantasy stories. It is something much more subtle and much more real. It is the ability to influence reality through pure intention, to catalyze transformations in others simply by maintaining a specific frequency, to access information not available through normal channels of knowledge, to serve as a conduit for healing and transformative energies that operate through you but do not originate within you. This role will require you to develop a level of humility that can be challenging for someone accustomed to being powerful and influential, because true power doesn't come from you, it comes through you. You are an instrument, a channel, a facilitator. And the more you cling to the idea of being special or superior, the less effective you become as a conduit of these higher energies. Scorpio, the responsibility of carrying something that only happens once every 100 years also means you can't waste this opportunity on petty concerns or personal dramas. Your energy will need to be channeled toward purposes that transcend your individual interests. This doesn't mean you'll give up your personal life or sacrifice your happiness. It means you'll discover forms of happiness and fulfillment that are much deeper than those based on achievements or material possessions. You will find satisfaction in being an instrument of transformation, in seeing others awaken to their own potential through your example or guidance, in contributing to movements of positive change that will impact future generations, in serving as a guardian of knowledge and traditions that preserve the wisdom accumulated by humanity over the centuries. During this transition process, you may go through periods where you feel overwhelmed by the intensity of what you're experiencing. Moments where the responsibility seems greater than your capacity to carry it. Phases where you question whether you were truly the right person for this role. These moments of doubt are normal and even necessary. They keep you humble and remind you that you are serving something greater than yourself. But whenever doubt arises, remember, the universe makes no mistakes. If you've been chosen, it's because you have exactly what it takes to fulfill this role. You may not yet see all your qualifications, but they are there. And as you become more comfortable with your new role, these qualities will become more apparent, even to yourself. Full activation will happen gradually over the next few weeks, but you can start preparing now. Create spaces in your life for silence and contemplation. Reduce external noise, both informational and social, so you can hear more clearly the inner guidance that will begin to emerge. Develop a practice of connecting with your deepest essence, whether through meditation, walks in nature, or any activity that connects you with the sacred. And most importantly, begin to observe your life through the eyes of someone carrying greater responsibility. Which situations, relationships, and activities honor your new role? Which drain your energy unnecessarily or keep you stuck in patterns that no longer serve your higher purpose? You'll need to make difficult choices about what to keep and what to let go of in your current life to create space for what's coming. Scorpio, the person you are today is not the same person you will be after this activation is complete. Not because you will become someone different, but because you will finally become who you were always destined to be. All layers of conditioning, all self-imposed limitations, all doubts about your own worth and capabilities will be burned away during the activation process. What will emerge is your pure essence. Powerful, wise, compassionate, relentless in the pursuit of truth. You will become someone who cannot be manipulated or controlled because you are connected directly to the source of all wisdom. Someone who does not fear death because you understand that life extends far beyond physical limits. Someone who does not need the approval of others because you are aligned with purposes that transcend human opinions. During this transformation process, you may find that some people in your current life can't relate to who you're becoming. This isn't because you're becoming arrogant or distant. It's because you're operating on a different frequency, and not everyone can adjust to this new frequency. Be compassionate to those left behind, but don't sacrifice your evolution to keep them comfortable. Also remember that true power always arouses fear in some people. Those who are attached to control and manipulation will feel threatened by your presence, even if you do nothing active to challenge them. Simply being authentically powerful in a world where many prefer to keep others small and dependent will be enough to create defensive reactions. Don't take these reactions personally. They're not about you. They're about these people's fear of their own transformation. Your light will expose the shadows they prefer to keep hidden, and this can generate hostility. Stand firm in your truth, but don't try to force others to evolve before they're ready. The most beautiful aspect of what's happening to you is that you'll discover levels of love and compassion you never knew existed. When you can see through people's masks and defenses straight to their pure essence, it becomes impossible not to love them, even when their behavior is destructive or hurtful. You'll understand that all cruelty comes from unhealed pain, and all malice comes from disconnection from the source of love. This understanding will give you a patience and tolerance that will surprise even you. You'll be able to keep your heart open even in the most challenging situations, because you'll see the wound behind aggression, the vulnerability behind arrogance, the fear behind anger. And from this expanded perspective, you'll be able to respond to people in ways that touch their deepest humanity, even when they're behaving less than humanly. If this message resonated deeply within you, if you recognize something about yourself that you've always known but never been able to express in words, this confirms that you are truly who I've been looking for. Share in the comments how you've been feeling these past few weeks. What subtle changes you've noticed in your perception or in the reactions of those around you. Your experiences will help other Scorpios recognize the signs of their own activation. Sign up now, because what's happening to you is just the beginning of a transformation that will unfold over years. You'll need guidance on how to integrate your new abilities, how to use your power responsibly, and how to navigate the challenges that come with greater spiritual responsibilities. Turn on notifications to receive specific guidance on each phase of this extraordinary process. The universe chose you. Among millions of possibilities, you were selected to carry something that only one person per century receives. This choice wasn't based on luck or chance. It was based on who you truly are at your deepest essence. And now the time has come to fully embrace this responsibility and become the instrument of transformation you were always destined to be. Are you ready to accept that your life will never be ordinary again after this activation is complete?